Psych.
Turning now to a mystery in space we've been following since it first appeared in our skies 3 months ago. We are talking about that interstellar object known as 3I Atlas. Most scientists think it's a comet, but one high-profile Harvard astronomer has been making the case on this show and other places that its anomalous behavior and characteristics suggest that it might be alien technology of one kind or another, perhaps a probe. 3I Atlas recently passed closest to the sun and will soon pass close to the Earth.
So these are the new images, by the way, coming straight from British Astronomical Association. So shout out to BBC or BAA, my bad, not British Broadcasting Corporation, but the BAA. And yeah, man, NASA, where the hell is NASA at, man? We demand answers. We demand answers. So NASA apparently got the most HD, 4K resolution. They got the best of the best footage, and so far we still haven't seen it. And they are, wasting my American viewers' tax money. And they're wasting American tax dollars, but we're still getting nothing, okay? Yeah, shut it down, man. Shut it down.
Earth. But it may not be in one piece when it does. Professor Loeb says that based on his calculations, it looks like 3I Atlas has been losing an extreme amount of mass, which could mean it's exploded into a dozen smaller pieces.
Whoa.
So, is it just another fascinating celestial phenomenon, or did the mothership just separate into a squadron of reconnaissance aircraft? Harvard professor Avi Loeb joins us now. That question is only slightly in jest, given everything you've been saying. Did we see it explode, or did we just happen to go back and measure it and say, oh my gosh, it's now much smaller and in a few different pieces?
Well, what we see are 7 jets coming out of these objects, more than 7 actually,
7.
After it passed close to the sun on October 29th. And we can see that some of these jets are pointed towards the sun, and they penetrate over 1 million kilometers.
Pause on penetration, but
through the solar wind. We know the properties, the density and speed of the solar wind, so we can figure out that for a natural comet with the characteristic outflow speed of these jets that come off pockets of ice on a natural comet, given that speed, we can tell that there is a lot of mass carried by these jets so that they can penetrate through the solar wind, about 5 billion tons. And in order to get that much mass out of ice, we need a large surface area of an object, and it turns out that it's a surface area of an object that is at least 20 kilometers in diameter, much bigger than the original estimate for the size of the object. So that would mean for a natural comet that it was broken up into many pieces such that the surface area, the total amount of surface of these many pieces adds up to the amount of mass that we need to release by vaporizing volatiles. Now, in the case of a technological object, maybe the jets are coming out of thrusters, in which case technological thrusters can reach much higher speeds for the gas that comes out of them, in which case we don't need as much mass. The fuel can be a small fraction of the mass of the spacecraft. So the coming weeks will be really decisive. Either we see a fragmented object where the pieces will get separated from each other.
Yeah, basically it's going to be the closest to Earth on December the 19th, and that is supposedly when we're going to learn the truth. If it's technologia, that means aliens. That means aliens. Or we're gonna find out it's natural and it's just a space rock, a unique one to say the least, I guess, just a comet. I'm leaning towards it being a nothing burger, to be honest, though. That's what I said before. I mean, at times, yeah, there is exciting development, but I feel like that it's or maybe it's gonna be, truth be told though, I really want this to be an alien UFO mothership, unless they're not friendly though. At that point I would be like, nah man, then I'm gonna pull a psych card, I'm gonna say psych, and I'm gonna say, nah bro, like I hope it's not aliens, but nah man, it's gonna be disappointing though. I'm preparing for disappointment already. I think it's gonna be a nothing burger. But what about you guys? Like, you don't have to have the same opinion. If you think this is a UFO alien mothership, yeah, put it in the comments. And I hope it is, bro. Like, it's gonna be, man, listen, man, you know what I mean, right? Like, how would you know what I mean when I say you know what I mean, right? Like, so, but what I mean here is that I hope it's not just a comet, okay? Because then it's gonna be boring, it's gonna be disappointing, so.
By the tide from the sun.
So,
or we would see an object that maintains its integrity and has very high-speed jets coming out of it, in which case we will have to contemplate a technological origin.
When are you going to know this, Avi? I mean, you're obviously watching how each of these 7 pieces now travels? If it's in a coordinated way, or?
Yeah, we will get data from hundreds of observatories around the Earth, plus the
hundreds, but NASA doesn't count. Okay, yeah, they're gonna be like, sorry guys, can't be giving y'all this much information.
Hubble and data from hundreds of observatories around the Earth, plus the Hubble and Webb telescopes. In the coming weeks, by the middle of December, it will get closest to Earth on December 19th.
Right.
And by then, I hope we will know the nature of the object, because if it's natural and it disintegrated, we would know what it was made of. We would see the pieces. However, if it maintains its integrity and we see high-speed jets coming out of it, we can measure the speed, we can measure the mass flux. We will know that it's something unusual.
Yeah.
So I
really hope it's something unusual, man. Dr. Avi Loeb getting my hopes up once again.
Hope that by the holidays, we would definitely know what the nature of this object is, and that would be a nice gift for all of us.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. We're being invaded by aliens.
The truth is out there, and it begins with you. Welcome to the Cosmic Fold, where we talk high strangeness. Call us at 928-288-2942. That's 928-288-2942. Or join us by video. If you're at a computer, just look for the link in the chat. Buckle up, sit around our virtual campfire, and let's get started.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Sounds like I'm echoing. Anyway, ThunderBeat couldn't make it. She had something come up, so my friend Dylan has joined us tonight. Say hello to the ladies, Dylan. We've got a man in the audience, too. So.
Hello. Welcome, Dylan.
Okay, so anyway, about this 3-eye atlas, now I've heard there's like radio signals coming out of it too. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, but there's but it's radio signals come out of all comets because of the gases being released, but that's not necessarily a big deal. But everything that gets reported starts to become part of the profile.
Exactly, and that's my sense about this. It's a lot of hype. I'm kind of with that guy. It's probably a nothing burger, but boy, I wish it was something cool.
I agree.
I think it probably is something modified. I don't think it's alien mothership, but I think it might be some kind of amended, natural object as like some kind of, maybe with some equipment on it or something like that. Like what we did when we threw out, when we threw out stuff into the universe trying to get information, we don't know if it's natural. In fact, there's it seems to be more on the side of not natural because it doesn't have any nickel. It doesn't have any iron. It only has nickel, which is unusual, and that's more seen in manufacturing. That's never really been seen in a comet before. It has been doing very strange kind of things, like it didn't have a tail, then it had a tail, now it's got this big tail. It's massive, giant object, I think it's 7 miles long or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah. It's just doing really bizarre things. It came in the plane of the ecliptic, so that it went right by all of these different planets, which is really weird. It's about 1 in 500 chance a natural object would do that. When you add up all the anomalies, the chances that it's just totally random is like 1 in 100,000 or 1 in a million or some crazy number. I can't remember. It might be even higher than that. I'm trying to be conservative, but it could just be very anomalous and a bunch of, but we wouldn't know, even if it was a piece of technology that was modified natural thing, unless it does something really strange, which it has also changed trajectory a little bit, which is a little bit unusual. It's got these jets coming out of it, which is unusual. There's a lot of weird things about it. So I don't think there's aliens or some mothership or anything like that. I think it might be just some kind of modified, like,
Dylan, I'm going to mute myself and you tell us what you think about it.
Who, me?
Oh, no, Dylan.
Oh.
No, that's all right. I know nothing. You seem to be very knowledgeable on the situation. I am very. I don't even know where to go. You are beyond me. Like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
We usually don't.
It's amazing.
I'm just kidding.
I know. He's like automatically awesome because
thanks.
Yes.
What do you? Now I'm pulling you in. What do you think about this 3-eye atlas?
Well, the question was in regards to intuition, and I'm sitting here and I'm feeling, and I ain't feeling nothing, so I don't have any particular intuition on this thing. But I will say that my thoughts and they go along with the guy who hosted the video, and what you said, Deborah. I would love for it to be something magical and friendly and welcoming and full of knowledge to share and all these incredible things that I yearn from outer space.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I don't think
exactly. That's just it. The odds of it being that.
It's not that. Yeah.
Pretty much non-existent, I suspect. But that's
yeah, we're all looking for. I can hear him better through your mic actually than when he's talking.
Maybe I'll just do that and keep his muted, and you could hear him through my mic. So
he's actually better. You can hear him better.
All right.
Yeah. All right. He said. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and Helen, what are your thoughts about it?
Well, I don't know. I wish it would just get here and get over with it because I'm sick of hearing about it. I wish it would just. I hope it's aliens. It would be a blessed relief. To sort of end the stalemate of the dystopian present. Move on to the next step. I don't think it's anything.
Wow. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dylan approves, Helen.
I think the chances are that if it is anything, it's sort of like Voyager, what we put out into space in the 70s and, with all our stuff on it. And it's just a probe that collects information and just continues to go through space forever and ever and ever. I don't think there's anything sentient aboard it. That's, so it wouldn't matter. It's just some kind of space debris from some other civilization trying to gather data or whatever. That's probably, if it's something artificial, that's probably what it is. That's my take on it. Yeah.
The non-sentient excuse is good.
What did he say?
He said the non-sentient excuse is good. He likes that.
Alien probe. That's what she meant. Yeah.
No bueno.
That's what Denise meant. A probe.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a probe. Yeah, an alien probe. Yeah.
Well, I think one thing that'll be.
I'm still on the delay.
No, I can actually. You're better now that you're muted. Yeah.
Yeah, he's on a delay though. But I think the lights tonight, if they make it all the way to Arizona, Bove, did you see any lights last night? I was up working until 3:30 this morning, so I didn't see anything. But did you see the lights?
I did not, and that's my awake time. But I did not see anything.
So I'm going to go out tonight and see if I see anything, because that really, the potential of these solar storms could be
it should be stronger today. Yeah, it should be stronger today and tomorrow. So
this could be very interesting. Now, do you guys want to see something that may blow your socks off?
Sure.
I dare you.
Helen, you're so cynical. It will blow your socks off.
Well, this is, you know,
but real quick though, he did mention that yes, while on the topic of China is very advanced, Ross claimed that the drones that we saw in New Jersey were Chinese drones. So yeah, that's crazy if true.
One thought today, Bryce. I now know categorically that the Tic Tac is Lockheed Martin technology.
Okay.
Man.
The Tic Tac is Lockheed Martin technology. Why are we being lied to? This is the issue. Why is the United States government now participating at White House executive level in collusion with the national security state to keep secret the fact that they've made these advances? I suspect it's because they've realized that they're being overtaken by their foreign adversaries, and they don't want you to know that.
Dang. What if it's true? I'm like open-minded when it comes to like this topic. So what if it's true? I mean, of course, I do believe that we, based off mathematically speaking, right? I don't want to go like in many different directions here, but mathematically speaking, we just cannot be alone, right?
Right. We can't. That seems like bullshit. I call bullshit on that, because Lou Elizondo and a bunch of other people in the military who are aviators and like really highly educated in what's going on. That guy looks like a creepy CIA dude or something. Like he looks like a disinformation officer to me. I don't buy that. I don't buy it at all. He seems like he's got an agenda. I mean, because what I've heard from what Lou Elizondo, he quit in order to get disclosure to happen. And people did not want disclosure within the department. And him and this other guy, I can't remember his name, that was in the hearings, they conspired to basically force the issue into the public's space and do those hearings. And as soon as they did that, they started getting intense pushback, and there's all kinds of they kept trying to, we don't have anything like it, but it's definitely not aliens. And they just kept going, backpedaling and backpedaling. So I don't buy that at all. I don't buy it.
I thought that was interesting. That was the first I heard of it. This was like at 1 this morning. I found that. I was like, wow, this is pretty interesting. But, on the other hand, like the Black Triangle and all that kind of stuff, when that was going over Phoenix, it turned out to be kind of, we have something similar to that. So who knows?
No, we don't have something that big.
Not that big, but
no,
still it's like they're stealing the technology or doing something with
there is back engineered technology that is similar to stuff that you might see, but it's not in production, and it's like they wouldn't be flying it over. Like what was happening with those Tic Tacs? They were in space, like they were fucking with those pilots and everything like that. If it was our technology, why would they be doing that? I mean,
they were dive bombing the USS Nimitz off the coast of San Diego.
Exactly. I mean, they were messing with our people. If it was Lockheed technology, why would our government be going into like some kind of weird dogfight with this thing? It doesn't make sense. I mean, I think they've decided to really backpedal this whole thing since about 1.5 years ago, when that hologram bullshit thing happened in Florida, where everybody freaked out like they did with War of the Worlds, and people started punching each other and screaming and running down the streets. I think they were going to maybe possibly do disclosure. And when that went really sideways, I think they decided to stuff it back in the box. That's what I think.
Well, and to an extent too. Go ahead.
Sorry. Why would you ever hide anything like that?
Because I mean, I think there's a really good reason. First of all, if you can't control it and you're supposed to be, the greatest military in the world, and that is true. I mean, Mexico actually released a lot of this information like 20 years ago. A lot of other smaller nations have come forward with their information and told their people. But the United States is an empire, and there's a lot of reasons. The other reason being that when the crash happened at Roswell and all the different UFOs were being sighted, there were all these UFO flaps coming from the 40s, the 50s, and 60s. The government really, two different things. One is they felt like it would destroy like the culture, that they believed that people's faith would collapse, that there would be panic in Wall Street, that, when War of the Worlds happened, my grandmother told me stories about it. She was listening to it on the radio, and people were throwing themselves out of windows. People killed themselves that night.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, people were terrified. And so I think the fear and not being able to control this, and what are you going to tell people? Oh, we have these guys, we can't do anything about it, but they're driving around our skies, they're going to do whatever they want, and we have nothing we can do about it. That's not going to make people feel very safe.
There's another huge reason that doesn't get talked about enough. When they first started to investigate, gather, crashed whatever, and hiding it from the public, they were using budgetary funds allocated by Congress in a dark budget. They were not accounting. They were not being held accountable to the taxpayer. And that's actually technically treason. And they've done it now for decades and decades, and they've dug themselves a hole they don't know how to get out of.
And then the other point too is the faction within the DOD, which we just read this. I made Helen and Deborah read this crazy book because it was referenced. Some of these people were referenced in some of these other books I read, but that Apocalypse. No, that's not the book. But,
not that one.
But the book is called. It's
Final
Event by Nick Redfern, and it's in that book. It really talks all about this sort of group in the Pentagon, in the DOD, who are really, really hyper intense right wing Christian, like literalists, and they believe that all UFO activity are demons, and they shouldn't be messing with it at all. And so they have been trying to suppress it from their Christian vantage point. They think it's demonic and it's leading people down the path to like hell and really crazy stuff like that. So that faction was actually part of the thing with Lou Elizondo not getting. That was part of the reason he had to quit, because they were trying to suppress.
They were obstructing
even the research into it. They didn't even want to research it, even though some of these UAPs were like interfering with our military and stuff. They didn't want anybody to look into it because they thought it was demonic. So
it's even worse than that. You know that it's worse than that, because their solution to the whole thing is, let's have a hardcore Christian right-wing theocracy, and they're turning they predicted 10 years ago, or more than 10 years ago. Yeah, that they're going to turn the military into a Christian crusaders that can police the citizens on the street, and they predicted it would be about 2020.
Yeah, that's in that book.
We are. Yeah.
Well, and they wanted to. Yeah,
what is everybody's YouTube? Because you guys have that interview up, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So can you tell like Donald or Keith and everybody how they can find your YouTube channels? I mean, I've got to post it on the front here.
You can just put it in the just type in my name and in there, and it'll come up.
And Keith
or Helen.
Yeah, I'm Irish Granny Helen, and I have it up under Aliens or Fallen Angels, a discussion with Denise and Deborah.
Yeah, I just have under my name, and then in the title, it's discussion about that. But yeah, I mean, how do you justify it's demonic? Because I mean, if you've ever watched Ancient Aliens, they kind of do the opposite of that. Everything is really aliens, which drives me insane too. All the ancient gods and goddesses and the angels and demons are all variations of, aliens. But basically what they've done is reverse that, like the other side of that mirror. Everything that's not Yahweh and Jesus is demonic. They believe Buddhists are demonic. They believe they believe every religion except for Christian.
Vegetarianism, meditation, reincarnation, all of that stuff, and they go by
Yahweh mean?
Yahweh is the God, the Hebrew God. Yod-Heh-Waw-Heh. He's the Jehovah. He's the God, the Old Testament God. Yeah. He's the Old Testament God. Are we demonic?
He wants to know if we're demonic. Yes.
According to those guys, yes. So Yahweh is like in the Hebrew Bible, when they talk about the God, you're supposed to only worship that one God. That's Yahweh, Yod-Heh-Waw-Heh, or he's also known as Jehovah, like the Jehovah Witnesses. That's sort of an Americanized version of the name, I think. But and there's other names that people use, but it's Yahweh or Jehovah, basically.
Yes, when the Jews went from their old beliefs to a monotheism.
Yeah,
Yahweh he's the God that won out. But they believe in the book of Revelation. They believe in all that end of the world, end times.
Not a lot of people know what Yahweh is.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's because people just call it God, because it's the God that most people that are Christian believe in, but that's the name of that God. That name of that God is Yahweh. Yeah. But see, that's troubling too, that if you're believing that God and you don't even know the name, that's problematic.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I find that, I mean, not that you're not that you are a problem. I'm just saying that, like, if you were like a hyper intense Christian or Jew and you didn't, probably not. You're probably right. Yahweh the Elohim is not, and Yahweh is spelled
Y-A-H.
Yeah, it's got no vowels.
No vowels, yeah.
Yod-Heh-Waw-Heh. So it's spelled Y-H-W-H or something like that. The Elohim is not Yahweh. So that's another interesting thing. The Elohim is the collection. Elohim are in the Genesis. So there's Yahweh. There's two stories in Genesis, but so the Elohim is in one version of Genesis. But the Elohim refers to all of the gods and goddesses, all the angels, all the celestial beings, all, the all-encompassing divine kind of beings. That's it.
That's the correct one.
Yeah, that's it. Y-H-V-H. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So I want to know what vowels HBH has in there to me. What is that name? Did you see their name?
No. I wasn't paying attention.
No vowels.
Oh, right. Oh, there it is. HBH. Yeah, no vowels. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. So the Elohim is different. It's I think the older version of the story is the Elohim story. Then the new story that's sort of grafted on in Genesis is the Yahweh story. Anyway.
So now we've got another. Well, I don't know. It's 7 minutes. Maybe we should talk for a while. Unless you guys want to see about the thing about the crash by Area 51.
I would be interested in seeing that.
Was there another one? Oh, okay.
That's funny. Cool.
Okay, here we go.
Telling you for several weeks now about a mysterious object of unknown origin that fell from the sky and crashed just near Area 51. And tonight, the public is still in the dark.
So that crash was quickly covered up, both literally and figuratively. 8 News Now Chief Investigator George Knapp thinks the official story, as told by the military, is false.
And we are lucky because George joins us here in the studio with more on what he's now dug up. George.
Well, how quickly might the government respond to a crash of an unknown object? What happened back on September 23rd on public land outside the boundary of Area 51 is a textbook example of how crash retrievals work. And to no one's surprise, pretty much everything told to the public since then is pure fiction.
You can see this in F-18.
Scanners and computers inside this room listen to and record radio traffic inside Area 51 round the clock. On the morning of September 23rd, York Arnew heard some astonishing news.
Had my cup of coffee and I'm listening to Area 51 security, and all of a sudden they get very serious. locked down the base.
Arnu learned there had been a large but totally secret air operation in the middle of the night and that something had gone wrong.
So we just had an asset go down. We had an asset go down. This is not Creech security, this is Area 51 security. And they had an asset go down. And then the next thing.
Yeah, clear. Also, short VFR is the UAV unmanned aircraft with ordnance.
He picked up details about strict security measures which were implemented almost immediately. Not only was Area 51 itself locked down, but within a very short time, so too was a large swath of the Tikaboo Valley. It became clear that some kind of craft had crashed miles outside of Area 51's boundaries on public land adjacent to Highway 375, also known as the ET Highway. Arnu jumped in his truck and headed south from his home in Rachel. But while driving on what's known as Mailbox Road, he ran into an armed patrol.
They had the gun in front of them, not pointed at me, but very visibly in front of them. And it was clear they meant business.
He backtracked and headed south on the ET Highway to Groom Lake Road, the main entrance to the base. It too was blocked off by sheriff's deputies and military security. A military helicopter with an attached basket was sitting there, presumably ready to haul out wreckage of something. A pair of porta potties suggested the team planned to be there for a while.
Almost the entire Tikaboo Valley was shut down.
At the Little Ailey Inn in Rachel, employees were in the dark about a crash, but saw the beefed-up security at closed-off roads and knew something big was unfolding. Crashes are not an everyday occurrence out here, but locals have seen plenty of them over the decades.
If this thing would have crashed anywhere in restricted airspace, in restricted area, we would have never known about it.
After being turned away from the presumed crash site, Arnu and the aerospace sleuths on his website, dreamlandresort.com, began gathering and sharing bits and pieces of information. The FAA had ordered the closure of airspace over a particular spot in the valley. That was a big clue. Then 4 days after the crash, the security teams vanished. Arnu went back out for a look. The Air Force had used heavy equipment to plow a dirt road across a section of desert. Arnu followed it and found what he thought was the crash site, then shared it online. That's when things got strange, even by Area 51 standards. A second wave of cleanup crews descended on the site, presumably to pick up any remaining debris, but they also used graders to cover the entire area with a thick layer of dirt, literally a cover-up. Creech Air Force Base, which is home to a fleet of Reaper drones and other UAVs, issued a statement explaining that the, quote, unmanned aircraft was one of theirs. The same statement claimed someone had been tampering with the crash site and had scattered assorted pieces from other aircraft, along with an inert training bomb. The Air Force said the FBI was investigating this alleged tampering at the site. Arnu was amused but not convinced.
The only thing they could get that person for is littering on public land.
That's the story, is it came from Creech and now the FBI is investigating. You think that's bogus?
That's absolutely bogus. I think that was designed to make people not go there.
Arnu drove back out and realized the site he first videotaped was a staging area, not the crash site. 200 yards away, the telltale burn marks on Joshua trees indicated this was where the object slammed into the earth. Both he and another aerospace explorer found pieces of who knows what, debris that came from something other than a drone, seemingly planted to confuse anyone who came looking. But they also found pieces under the dirt that are likely the real thing.
I'm pretty sure that this piece came off the actual aircraft.
Arnu, who was at the site of a genuine Reaper crash years earlier, says there's no way the Air Force could ever recover every piece of a crashed aircraft, so they added some dirt and sprinkled in some misdirection instead.
If I were them, I would probably do just that.
Is there a good guess about what crashed? On the Dreamland Resort website, members, including former military and retired defense contractors, chimed in. The leading theory is that the drone was one of a latest generation of AI-controlled craft that accompany advanced fighter planes and can act independently to get the job done.
The Next Generation Air Dominance project is the big thing at Area 51. So the pilot flies along and says, hey, there's a target on the ground, drone 1, go check it out, and if it's a bad guy, take care of it. And drone one goes and does the rest.
If the military wants to keep a secret about strange things that fall out of the sky, they have many tools at their disposal. Lock down the base, seal off the public land, put out a cover story, sprinkle some disinformation over the whole thing. Arnu says the middle of night operation that ended with the crash is one of the biggest he's ever heard of, nicknamed Black Flag. He has a good idea which hangar at the Area 51 base houses the unknown drones, but is not willing to say more. It is, after all, almost 3 years to the day since FBI agents kicked in the door of his home and carted away his computers and cameras. No charges have ever been filed. Back to you.
And George, what I really like to say is there's so much more behind a press release, right? That press release that came in, the first one that we talked about here, said it was an incident. Didn't even say it was a crash. Didn't even say what it was. So there, really shows you how investigative reporting can go a long way.
Like X-Files right in our own backyard.
And George wants to take Denise and I out there on a bus tour, so we are thinking about it.
Sign us up.
Hey, if you missed
Denise.
I had to leave that part because her name was Denise. But you know what's disturbing about this? If these drones... So anyway, the thing about this is, let's say they have found some alien technology, and then they're putting AI on there, and this stuff is crashing. What if they
I think it seems like it's stuff? Well, it said that if you listen to what the pilot said in the recording, he said that it was an unmanned vehicle with an ordnance on it, right? So that sounds like a drone that has maybe some kind of weapon on it, maybe a dangerous weapon. So maybe that's why they covered it. Maybe a nuclear missile on it or nuclear material or something. Maybe that's why they were so weird about it. It doesn't necessarily have to be a UFO or UFO related technology.
I don't think it was, but it's disturbing to me that these things are crashing if they're being run by AI.
Oh,
because think back when all of those things are flying over New Jersey. What if those had ordnance on them? And they start crashing. You know,
or just even if they don't, they start crashing. They could kill they could kill people. They could crash into someone's house and start a whole neighborhood on fire. You know what I mean? It's AI is not reliable enough to be flying drones around on its own. It really, you know what I'm saying? It's scary. It's still pretty much in its infancy in terms of that stuff. So it is probably something dumb like that, because isn't there that guy, I can't remember his name, who started that company, what's it called? Starts with a P. Helen, Palantir, yes.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing, right? That's their whole thing. Trying to do the AI and combine it with military stuff. And it seems really dangerous and crazy to me.
We're not going towards Palantir now, right?
Helen, he hates AI as much as you do.
I'm choking to death here on the toxic masculinity. I don't think we're asking the right questions. I don't think the really important topics are being presented. We're worried about, and when I say we, I don't mean us. I mean just the world. We're debating, is this alien technology? What's the military up to? Why don't they just replace all those guys with women and go to a consensus form of decision making? This is ridiculous. They've militarized everything. It's about domination and who can be at the top dog. And it's sickening. It's really sickening.
Come on now.
Sorry, I'm mad. And those two TV reporters need to go back to school and learn some grammar.
You're getting mad.
When did we go to masculinity?
Yeah, it's toxic masculinity. He's wondering what made you skip to toxic masculinity.
The whole thing is pervaded by this desire to weaponize.
You're not toxic. You're not a toxic man. Not at all. No.
No, and we've got Keith. He's not either.
He's not either. No, you're a nice guy. I can tell that. I think, yeah. You don't seem like that kind of a guy at all. But you're talking about it in terms of a cultural phenomenon, is what you're talking about.
Cultural and societal and moral, and it's about our values as a country.
Look, we're an empire. That's part of that. But it's gotten more exaggerated in the last, period of years. for obvious reasons. But I mean, that kind of goes with the territory of being an empire. I mean,
well, I know that, and that's the problem. We need to change that immediately.
Yeah. Well, it's not. Yeah. Well, maybe that's
good
toxic
point.
Humanity.
That's right. Yeah.
Toxic humanity.
I agree with
Speak
that.
for yourself.
No, he's right, because it's not just men. There's lots of horrible women too. I mean,
I could think of one.
Toxic toxic femininity. You know, I mean, there's that too. Yeah. What were you going to say?
But this is what bothers me about the AI, and
Yeah.
this has come up before, is if this is operating, these unmanned drones or God knows whatever else that they're operating. Remember there was that movie in the 80s or 90s, was it Julia Roberts, somebody whose identity was stolen, her whole digital identity was stolen.
I think it was
I can't remember
Sandra
what that
Bullock.
was.
It was Sandra Bullock.
That's who it was, Sandra Bullock. And I think that the potential is there for that now, because it's like everything, it is so irritating, even at work now. It's like AI is trying to take over all of my work that I do, and a lot of that is confidential, right?
Wow.
But they keep trying to force it into these clouds. And I don't want it on a cloud. I want it on my own server that is not connected to anything.
Right.
And it's like, you know, with your accounting, with your word processing, with your Adobe, with everything, it's like AI is saturating through everything that we have.
When you're, you know, I went to the mall maybe 6 months ago or something like that, and walked by this lady talking about that they have these glasses you can get from Ray-Bans. They sell them at the Sunglass Hut now, where they have, you know, a camera built into them, and it's connected to your phone, and all you have to do is go like that. You can videotape people, and it's really super creepy that you could be walking around not seeing, you know, and people can just be you could be on the internet doing whatever. That was really disturbing to me, you know. Yeah. And they're glasses that you can wear, and you can put your just regular prescriptions in them, and then they're wired they're Bluetooth to go to your phone, and you can answer phone calls by touching them. You can go like that, and you can start videotaping people, and they don't know, you know, that you don't see their cell phone coming out. They can just go like that, and you're being taped.
Right.
And you could
and
be streamed live on an internet display, something, you know what I mean? You don't even know. That's pretty messed up.
Yeah, complete. There's no privacy. There really is not. 51 story kind of disturbing in that this stuff it's like you said, carrying ordnance.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah. So
who knows what kind of ordinance was on it? You know what I mean? Could have been anything.
I was thinking biochemical.
Could have been anything.
That could be a nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah. Why would they fly a drone around with an ordinance on it, though? If it's why would they do that in that area? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of strange too. Why
it sounds like it got off course. Inside Area 51, they've got, I don't know how many thousands of acres of guarded, unseen land.
Yeah, but why would you fly around?
Well, it maybe accidentally got off course.
Yeah, but why would you fly around any kind of drone with an ordinance on it?
Well, why would they do anything that they do?
I mean, what would be the point of that? I mean, just fly it around if you're testing it. I mean, there's no military thing going on there. You know what I'm saying? Why have the ordinance loaded on there?
I don't know.
Why would there ever be an ordinance? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get that part of it.
You know, there's a lot of people that try to break in, so maybe that's like their form of security or whatever. But even if that's the case, it didn't say what kind of ordinance was on there or what's going on.
Could have been anything.
Down a law or something like that.
Yeah,
it seems odd.
So,
that was the weirdest part of it, the ordinance part. It's a drone could crash, and that would still be a big deal, especially if it's sort of special technology they don't want anyone else to see. But why would you load it up with weaponry or of any kind if you're just flying around the desert, you know?
Well, here's a thought. remember when the Nimitz had that experience? They sent up armed fighter jets. So maybe they were chasing something.
Maybe. Now that's an idea. That could be it, because that makes more sense. Now that makes sense, because why else would you have a loaded weapon?
I should be a general. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. That does make sense. That is interesting. So what if they were chasing around a UFO or maybe something else? Because they have. I had a friend years ago when I worked back in LA who used to take people on tours of Area 51, like before it became a thing. This was like in the early 90s.
Yeah.
And they would camp out on this hill that you could see down. Now you can't do that anymore, but you could get it from this one vantage point and you could see them flying saucer, like they were flying some kind of back engineered saucer type of thing. So they did it every night at a certain time, so you could go down there and watch it or whatever. And my point was, I don't remember, but what was I? What were we talking about? So
live ordnance chasing UFOs.
So yeah, so maybe there was one of those UFOs or back engineered UFOs went haywire and they were trying to capture it or something, or I don't know.
Yeah. I was ready for president. Keith will be your campaign manager.
I'm not a naturally born citizen. I can't. Sorry. I must respectfully decline.
Oh my God!
You could be a governor.
I could.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine?
Probably not that much fun.
Senator.
Yeah.
I could never do that because we have to change the entire system to make me happy. So,
well, that's going to happen whether we like it or not. I think.
I know.
Yeah,
I
think
so
so
too. Whole point, Irish Granny.
Yeah, exactly. He said that's the whole point, Irish Granny.
Yeah. I think we just need to send 5 moms to Washington, D.C. and have them take over the Oval Office.
I think you have too much confidence in. Look, not all women are that great. I mean, look at
Christy Nome, for example.
Well, there's a lot of bad ladies too.
All that great.
What?
That there.
What did he say?
I can't hear.
We couldn't understand you, Dylan.
What did he say?
I have no idea.
All women are that great.
Not all women are not great. Not every woman is great.
All women are great.
Oh, he said all
meet
women
my
are
mom,
great.
dude. You just meet my mom and you'll have a different idea about that one. She's not great.
No. Remember Lori Vallow?
Yeah, Lori Vallow. She ain't great.
No.
What about what's her name? Eileen Wuornos. I mean, woo, she's
Diane Downs.
You don't want to meet her. Diane Downs. There's some bad ladies out there. But most women are not that bad. I agree. Most women are good, but most men are good. I think most people are good. There's a subset of bad people. True, but Lori Vallow was, and she killed her children.
Lori Vallow definitely was.
Yeah, not a good mom. That's for sure.
For Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
Okay, here comes. Okay, so an easy life for me. Thank you for commenting. Said, I heard a theory the military using AI technology to stage an alien invasion. Since they have been seeding beings as evil, people would happily give their rights away to protect themselves.
They already have.
Yeah.
It's called the Patriot Act, Homeland Security.
I mean, I've heard this too, and I think this is one of those conspiracy theory sort of false flag things. I say to that, they don't need to do that. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they need to do that. I don't think there would be buy-in from Trump to do that. I just don't think so because he doesn't care. And you'd have to get him to sign off on that. I think he's just going to ramrod his agenda through whether people like it or not. And he's going to continue to party away and take as much money as he can and act like he's the king. And whether we like it or not, that's what's going to happen. And he doesn't really care if people, I think he's lost interest in caring whether people like him or not to some degree because his popularity is plummeted and he doesn't seem to mind at this point. You know what I mean? He just does what he does.
Well, I think that's a really scary sign, Denise, because I think what you're looking at is somebody who knows he doesn't depend on the approval and votes of the public.
That's correct.
What does that mean?
He's going to do whatever he wants. Exactly. And he can just break the law willy-nilly. So why does he need any kind of cover story like that. I don't think that that's going to happen. I really don't. I mean, I totally get why people think there's going to be some kind of false flag event, because that is a typical kind of way to sort of take power. But he's already doing that, so he doesn't need it. I mean, he doesn't need that kind of event.
Playing devil, pardon the pun, playing devil's advocate, that group inside the Pentagon has been seriously contemplating holograms of Jesus.
No, so, I know. If there was a false flag event, that's what it would be, not aliens. Exactly. It would be Jesus.
The second coming, yeah.
It'd be the second coming, yeah.
You know, and another thing is this swirl of confusion. You know, this is why you're sick of 3i Atlas, because it's like you just, you know, so much of this stuff is AI generated. You know, stories about it.
Crazy stuff.
Then you have this Avi Loeb. I mean, I don't know what to make of him at this point. You know, he seems to be sensationalizing things. Then you have other people that are like, yeah, it's just, you know, and so the thing is, it creates confusion. So if things genuinely happen, people are already confused by this constant.
Well, I think the problem is Avi Loeb isn't really sensationalizing, but everything he says is being magnified and blown out of proportion so that it looks like he is, even though he's not. He's saying basically, you know, we have to consider that something could enter into our solar system that is technological. I mean, we shouldn't just assume it's a comet, but, you know, we should look at it with scientific rigor. But when he's pointing out these anomalies, people are running wild with these things and going and making stuff up and adding to it. And then saying it's him and it's not him, and he's upset about it himself. So it's kind of like, you know, that's the problem, the echo chamber situation we live in right now with social media. I was reading this book called How Civil War Starts, and it was written a while ago. But one of the things this woman talks about is how since social media and the internet has come around, the slippage of democracies into what's called anocracies, which are in between authoritarianism and democracies, has risen all over the world. And a lot of it is because of the siloed information and people being able to be manipulated, and they don't know what to believe, and people losing faith in things, and sort of that kind of the way all algorithms are set up is you get much more engagement when you get people mad than when you make them happy. Yep. So, you know, and it's kind of creating people going down these rabbit holes. So,
well, you incite fear, and then people are looking for external guidance and reassurance, and so they will turn to authoritarianism every time.
Yeah, a lot. Yes, I think when people are afraid, that they tend to want somebody to protect them, and that's the big daddy kind of authoritarianism thing. Yeah, for sure.
Not necessarily.
Not everybody. No.
Yeah. We choose to go beyond from what everybody else thinks. You know, I'm not a MAGA guy.
Right.
I've been trying to steer clear of that.
Thank God.
Right. Yeah, I'm not. Sorry, I'm hearing the delay in my.
That's okay.
In my headphones, but a lot of the world is going towards this making up facts about. I'm sorry, I can't deal with it.
With the delay. Yeah, I understand that. It's really annoying when you have an echo going on.
Well, you know, you're right. A lot of people can't handle uncertainty. They don't like ambiguity, and for that 3i Atlas is perfect. We don't know what it is, and my attitude about it is, we'll find out sooner or later.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. And but people are losing their minds about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I almost feel like, who cares? You know.
Well, I mean, yeah, whatever it is, it's not going to be a threat to us. It doesn't seem like it's not coming anywhere near the Earth. I mean, even if it's a probe, so what? I mean, all it proves is that we already know there are exoplanets with water, and there's been supposedly, it's been reported, but kind of hidden.
Broke up into 16 pieces, right?
Yeah, it broke up. Well, we don't know. It's a bunch of, it's kind of a bunch of payload come out of it, but we don't really know what that means yet, I guess. So it has jets coming out of it. So we don't really know if it just like released a bunch of debris or fuel or something burned off of it, or we don't really know yet. We're going to find that out pretty soon. But I mean, you know, there has been reports of exoplanets being found with artificial light signatures, but that's not in the news. But that is a definite sign that there are alien civilizations in our galaxy. You know what I mean?
They're not telling us about that.
They're not telling us about it, right? So this is kind of like, I think in some ways, this is about as close to some kind of raising the issue in the public through Atlas, which is why people are so interested in it, because, you know, people know on some instinctual level we're not alone. I mean, just mathematically impossible that we would be. I mean, it's totally insane. So
Yeah, you're probably dumb if you don't think that.
Yeah, right. I mean, you'd have to be a little bit mad to think that, you know what I mean? So I think that's the interest in it. And
it's you know what it is? This just occurred to me. It's a modern technological version. It's a futuristic version of bread and circuses. We've got the whole SNAP and the money for food and people starving, et cetera, issue versus aliens in the sky. And you know where I stand. I'm not denying that, but the distraction, the attraction of it keeps people occupied.
I think it's something entertaining or something, a hopeful thing, like maybe there's something else besides this. I think you're absolutely right. I think there is an element of that in this. Yeah,
that's what's going on.
Yeah,
I refuse to capitulate.
Well, it's not really anybody doing it. I think it's just people's need to feel like they want something more than this, and it's sort of filling that vacuum.
I feel like we have enough.
Yeah,
don't we have enough?
No, it's hopeful. It's not the dark, scary, horrible things that we are dealing with. This is a hopeful thing. Like maybe there's something else in the universe that is positive, or some other thing that some other place, some more, you know,
the savior phenomenon. It's
they're going to save us. I don't know that anybody thinks they're going to save us, but I think just the idea that things don't have to be like this. If there's other civilizations and they work and they put stuff out in the universe and it's coming from really far away, they must be functional, right? At least, right? Beam me up. I've heard people say that.
I know.
Yeah.
Keith, I'm going to put an X on the top of my head and stand up
like
with
this
a
lady. What's her
flashlight
name?
on it.
Oh my gosh. Well, that was all I had for tonight.
Okay. Cool.
I think
early.
So this Saturday we're going to go. You know, there's these big storms coming all over again. I hope Globe doesn't get washed out again. So we're kind of watching the weather because we're supposed to go.
An atmospheric river is coming to the coast.
Yeah, we're supposed to go down this weekend to do that ghost hunt because I was going to share that with you guys next time. You know, some of our footage.
Yeah.
But we'll just see what happens because if the road washes out or whatever. Otherwise, Helen was nice enough to refer a woman who has captured some incredible lights that we'll have.
That'd be
and
cool.
then ThunderBeat will get back with me about when she can come on. And then I'm talking with somebody else, you know, so we'll keep pulling in some guests and keep doing our Wednesday nights. And you guys, if you're not subscribed to Denise and Irish Granny Helen's channels, do that and subscribe to their Substacks because, our interview last night that book was just unbelievable. Dylan, I'm going to have to let you borrow it and read it because
it's a crazy book.
It's
so
crazy.
insane.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can listen to it on audiobooks too. There's an audiobook version of it too.
Oh, well, I covered it on my channel. You're welcome to.
There you
Watch
go.
it.
I
Yeah.
Highly recommend that.
It's the Cliff Notes. Yeah.
Yeah. But I have to warn you, there's a test.
I try to be an artist, but I got this neighbor that wants to do a podcast all the time.
And she never sleeps. It's such a problem.
She never sleeps. It's freaky, man. I don't know how you do it.
I do sleep. I get like 6-7 hours.
I make paintings. Seeing the paintings back there? Those are my paintings. Yeah.
She's a very talented artist. And she was did you have a rock band too?
Yeah, I had a band. Mm-hmm. Yep. Back in the 90s.
Yeah. Oh, don't. And she wrote a book.
And she wrote, yeah.
And she wrote a book. We need an hour.
Oh.
You have a new fan, girl.
What is that?
I don't know.
I don't know what this means. But okay.
All right.
Good. He reminds me of my friend Chris. Who's a filmmaker. He's kind of, he reminds me of him.
He does very well with filming.
Yeah, he seems like a photo guy.
Yes, he's really good.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of want him to do on the rural stuff. So
that'd be cool.
Anyhow, I appreciate everything, you guys. I appreciate the guests coming in.
It was fun. Always.
And then hopefully ThunderBeat will be here. One of those. She's interesting too because she's a musician, an artist, a healer, all that kind of stuff.
Everything.
So, yeah, and she's like you, Denise, has had like ET contact all of her life, and so that's why I was kind of interested in bringing her in to see if there were similarities.
Yeah, that'd be
what you all.
Yeah, talk to her. Yeah.
So when she gets here, she'll get here. So
Throw it on the ground.
All right. Well,
thank you, Deborah.
Yeah,
thank you. We'll see you next Wednesday, and we'll go from there. All right.
All right, everyone. Have a great night.
Thank you all.
Bye,
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for joining us. We love hearing your stories, so tell your friends so they can join the party. For show notes and our forum of high strangeness, visit CosmicFold.com. Remember, Cosmic Fold airs live on Wednesday and Saturday nights, so be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell to know when we're on air. Thanks again and have a great evening.